Good morning, students. Today we are going to see about the new chapter Basis of Classification. In this chapter, we are going to see about the introduction, features of dichotomous key, dichotomy of animals, basis of classification, need for classification, and finally, general features and examples of different phyla and classes. Introduction. According to fossil evidence, life on Earth is speculated to have begun roughly 3.7 billion years ago. Today, the Earth is home to countless species, ranging from microscopic microbes to blue whales. The diversity of life is so vast that there are many species yet to be discovered. Similarly, there are many organisms that are yet to be identified or discovered. However, we do need a system to classify the organism that we do know about. This is due to the fact that the same organism or its variations may exist across multiple locations around the planet, and these organisms are given different names according to the locations, though all the biologically the same organism. What is biological classification? Biological classification is the scientific procedure of arranging the organism in a hierarchical series of groups and subgroups on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities. Many biologists have contributed to this method of classification, which took years for researchers to decide the most fundamental characteristic for the classification. Now let's see about the next topic is dichotomous key. What is dichotomous key? A dichotomous key is a tool used to classify organisms based on their similarities and differences. A dichotomous key is a tool that allows the user to determine the identity of items in the natural world such as trees, wildflower, mammals, reptiles, rocks and fish. Keys consist of a series of choices that lead the user to the correct name of a given item. Dichotomous means divided into two parts. Therefore, dichotomous keys always give two choices in each step. Let's see about the next topic is features of dichotomous key. Dichotomous keys are very useful because they allow non-expert users to identify organisms by directing them to look at the known important organisms. Dichotomous keys are very useful for identifying an organism as a member of a single closely related group of organisms. In many environments, this is sufficient to fully identify the species. However, complications may arise if multiple closely related species, which may have very similar characteristics, live in the same geographic area. Dichotomous keys are most often used for identifying plant and animal species based on their characteristic. This is for some features of dichotomous key. The next topic is dichotomy of animals. Using a dichotomy pattern, classify the given list of animals: ostrich, peacock, monkey, frog, toad, turtle, snake, shark, goldfish, ant, tapeworm, earthworm, and leech. Now let's move on to the next topic is basis of classification. The history of biological classification began with Aristotle, the Greek philosopher, who is often called the father of biological classification. He described animal classification based on their habitat, that is, air, water, and land. He was the first person to recognize the need for groups and group names in the study of the animal kingdom. Later, biologists started to work on the classification of living organisms based on their characteristic. Characteristic can be explained in many ways. A group of organisms is similar enough to be classified together by certain characteristic. Characteristic are the appearance, form, and behavior function of something. These characteristics decide which organism will be placed in which group. For example, a dog has limbs, but a snake doesn't. A dog and a snake can move, but plants cannot. These are the characteristics of different organisms. These behaviors classify them into different groups. But which character should be the fundamental form or function? As per the above example, how should a dog be classified? Whether on the basis of body design or its locomotion. Now it's a time for activity. To sort out a box of given buttons and classify them into different types. Procedure. Take a box of given buttons. Work in small groups of 3 or 4 and classify the buttons based on the following classification criteria. The first criteria is shape. The second one is buttons with 4 holes. Third one is buttons with 2 holes. The fourth criteria is color. Identify other features that can be used to sort out buttons into different groups. Based on the special features and characters, identify each button according to its size, hole, and color. This is known as identification. Separate the buttons according to the size, hole, and colors. This is known as assortment. After assorting the buttons according to their size, hole, and colors, this is termed as grouping. So, identification, assortment, and grouping, which results in classification. So, the method of arranging the organisms into group is called classification. Let's see about the next topic is need for classification. The study of one or two organisms is not sufficient to know the essential features of the group. All kinds of organisms do not occur in one locality. Classification helps in knowing the relationship between the different groups of organisms. It helps in knowing the evolutionary relationship between the organisms. This is for some need for classification. Now let's move on to the next topic is taxonomic hierarchy. The system of arranging taxonomic categories in a descending order based on their relationships with other groups of organisms is called hierarchy of categories. This system was introduced by Linnaeus and is called Linnaean hierarchy. There are 7 main categories of hierarchies. They are kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, genus, and species. Species is the basic unit of classification. Let's see about the next topic is classifications of different phylum and some examples. The different phylum of the animal kingdom are as follows. Phylum Protozoa, Phylum Porifera, Phylum Coelenterata, Phylum Platyhelminthes, Phylum Aschelminthes, Phylum Annelida, Phylum Arthropoda, Phylum Mollusca, and Phylum Echinodermata. The first phylum is Protozoa. It is a unicellular and microscopic organisms. Locomotory organs are fingers like pseudopodia, flagella and hair-like cilia are present. Respiration occurs by diffusion through the general body surface, reproduced by fission or conjugation. Example of protozoa are amoeba, paramecium. The next phylum is Porifera. Porifera means organisms with holes. They are commonly known as sponges. It is a multicellular organisms with a hard outer skeleton. Pores on the bodies create a canal system which helps in the circulation of substances. Skeleton formed of spicules. Reproduction is a asexual and sexual reproduction. Examples of porifera are Spongylia and Cycone. The next phylum is Coelenterata. The term Coelenterata derived from the Greek word kilos, which means hollow. It has a hollow body cavity. The body is differentiated into two ends. It includes all aquatic animals. The body is made up of two layers of cells, inner and outer linings. It is live in colonies as well as solitary. Some example of phylum Coelenterata includes hydra and jellyfish. The next phylum is Platyhelminthes. Platyhelminthes are commonly known as flatworms. It has dorso-ventrally flattened body, either free-living or parasitic. It lives inside the body of animals and human beings. Tissues are differentiated from three layers of cells and are triploplastic. Some examples of phylum Platyhelminthes include tapeworm, liver fluke, blood fluke. The next phylum is phylum Aschelminthes or Nematoda. Phylum Nematoda consists of nematodes or roundworms. Their features are nematodes have a cylindrical body, mostly parasites in human beings and animals, parasitic and causes diseases such as elephantiasis and ascariasis. Some example of phylum Nematoda includes Ascaris, Wuchereria. The next phylum is phylum Annelida. Annelids are commonly known as segmented or ringed worms. They have the following features. It have a segmented cylindrical body. The body is differentiated into head and tail. It live in marine, freshwater and land. Some examples of phylum Annelida includes earthworm and leech. The next phylum is phylum Arthropoda. Arthropod means jointed legs. Animals which have jointed appendages belong to this phylum. This is the largest phylum in the animal kingdom. They are bilaterally symmetrical. It have jointed appendages, exoskeleton and a segmented body. It have well differentiated organ and organ system. It have an open circulatory system but do not have differentiated blood vessels. Some examples of phylum Arthropoda includes spiders, butterflies, mosquitoes, scorpion, etc. The next phylum is phylum Mollusca. Phylum Mollusca consists of a large group of animals. It has soft body, bilaterally symmetrical and triploplastic. Then the less segmented body, well-developed organ and organ system, the limbs are present. Some examples of phylum Mollusca includes snails and octopus. The next phylum is phylum Echinodermata. The term Echinodermata is derived from the Greek word echinos. The echinoderms are spiny-skinned animals. It is free-living marine animals. It have hard calcium carbonate and skeleton structure. Then the water vascular systems are present. Some examples of phylum Echinodermata includes sea urchins and starfish. Now let's move on to the next topic is phylum Chordates. The chordates possess the following characteristic. They are bilaterally symmetrical, triploplastic with an organ system level of classification. They possess a notochord and a nerve cord. The circulatory system is closed type. Phylum Chordata can be divided into the following subclasses: class Pisces, class Amphibia, class Reptilia, class Aves, and class Mammalia. The first class is Pisces. They are found in fresh, marine and brackish water. The body is usually streamlined. Some have a spindle-shaped or elongated body as well. Their body is distributed into a head, trunk and tail. They swim with the help of their tail. The body is covered with thick-seated scales which helps by providing protection to the internal organelles. The gills help in respiration. Catla and mullet are some examples of class Pisces. The next class is Amphibia. The organisms belonging to the class Amphibia fall under the Chordata phylum of the kingdom Animalia. These are multicellular vertebrates. These can live both on land and in water. Their body is divided into head and trunk. The tail may or may not be present. The skin is smooth and rough without any scales, but with glands that make it moist. They have no paired fins. Unpaired fins might be present. They have two pairs of limbs for locomotion. The heart is three-chambered. Frog and toad is an example of class Amphibia. The next class is Reptilia. These were the first class of organism to adapt to life on land. They are believed to have evolved from the amphibians millions of years ago. These are creeping and burrowing terrestrial animals with scales on their body. They are cold-blooded animals found in most of the warmer region of the world. Their skin is dry and rough without any glands. The body is divided into head, neck, trunk and tail. The respiration takes place with the help of the lungs. House lizard, garden lizard, turtles, crocodile are some examples of class Reptilia. The next class is aves. The aves belong to the phylum Chordata of the animal kingdom. It has about 9,000 species. Aves are adapted to fly. All the birds come in the class aves. Birds are warm-blooded animals. Their forelimbs are modified into wings. They have well-developed flight muscles that help during the flight. Their spindle-shaped body minimizes resistance of the wind. There is no skin gland except the oil gland. Hen, ostrich, sparrow are some examples of class A. The next class is class Mammalia. Animals belonging to class Mammalia are referred to as mammals. Mammals are one of the most evolved species in the animal kingdom categorized under vertebrata. Mammals are warm-blooded animals who give birth to their younger ones. They are the most dominant form of animals found in almost all types of habitats. They have mammary glands that help them produce milk to feed their younger ones. Their skin possesses oil glands and sweat glands. The trunk is divided into thorax and abdomen. The mammals respire through lungs. Cat, dog, tiger, man are some examples of class Mammalia. That's all for today. Thank you, students. Have a nice day.